legend, visionary, revolutionary. Your reaction to adversity and not adversity itself determine how life's story will develop you. Will you stand and fight, or will you cower? A man faced with many obstacles change but never reduce by what befell him. A man becoming a hero before our very eyes showed us how to stand tall in the midst of pain and suffering, to walk head held high, one foot after the other, fear not in his heart nor his mind, but kindness all around. These are the things we don't see when a hero meets misfortune. And as this hero becomes a legend, we must realize while he'll no longer walk this earth, he'll forever be cemented in our hearts. As we all know, heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Long live the king.
ScreamATMePodcast. This day.
It's Kyle.
It's Kev.
And over the past week, since the last episode, there's been a lot going on in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of people passed. So before we start, we would like to just give our condolences to a few. Starting with John Thompson,
Clifford Robinson,
And Chadwick Boseman. These are all three men who not only impacted the black community a lot, but just communities on other guidelines. John Thompson being a well-known coach, first black coach to win a title in the NCAA, if I'm not mistaken. Clifford Robertson being a well-known, long-time playing NBA player. And then we all know what Chadwick Boseman did, not only like on film, but off film, being such a pioneer for young black actors. Him being a man that's been acting for so long and playing such impactful roles from start to finish. We just wanted to take a second to say something about them guys. But I want to start this off by asking y'all, what was the first film or show, flick, or clip that y'all ever seen Chadwick in? Like before he became really more so relevant. Where did y'all first see him at?
Y'all might not believe me, but I never saw a movie with him in it. I never saw Black Panther, Jackie Robinson. I don't watch movies, so.
Have you seen? You never watched Black Panther? None of that? Oh wow!
Like before this, if you would have said Chadwick Boseman,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, who? Like you would have had to show me a picture and say,
Man.
like, I honestly never saw a movie, so.
Oh gosh.
So I'll leave this probably topic up to y'all too. Probably a greater impact on y'all lives.
I mean, I would honestly say I didn't see much of him before the bigger films. I do watch a lot of movies, but I didn't see a lot of the Law and Order and some of the smaller things that, you know, has come out and things have been seen for him. What I did notice that off rip was the selection of movies that he did. You know, the roles were never, you know, just walk by standard facing movie roles. These were pivotal black lead, strong black lead films, and not in the sense of it being black films, but these were strong movies, you know, American, you know, culturally biased films, but some of them depicted, you know, the lives of African Americans, or they all depicted the lives of African Americans, but I would not just categorize them to be black films, but who and what he did and how he portrayed and his presence on film, and not only the way he captivated the audience, but the way he carried himself, you know, and off camera, you know, from seeing him on pictures and interviews and everything, it was a true level of standard, a true level of excellence, and then to find out in the thereafter, you know, all that he really did behind scenes, and you know, hearing such touching words from all of those around him is just like, you know, in awe. Prayers, condolences to the family. to the close circle.
Yeah.
To anybody that knew him, touched him, got to feel him. I mean, you know, we as a community, I can speak for some, can say that we felt like we seen him grow a little bit, you know, and with each role, he took another step of greatness, and, you know, it was cut short, but he's an icon. He's a legend. He's too big to truly box or categorize, and I honestly think it'll take more than this time to truly acknowledge what all he really did in such a short amount of time. But
Yeah.
what about you? When did the first time you peeped him?
Well, I noticed a lot of people lately have been like notably just reposting or speaking more so on his role as Black Panther. But I get it. I feel like a lot of movies that he played before them, like you said, were big roles as a strong black man. But us seeing a strong black man like in the black community, that's what we need. But for other people in other communities, they might not more so care for that because they might not be able to relate to it as much. To them, it's just a strong man. It's like us seeing any strong white man or Asian man in any movie. Like, I might not be able to relate to somebody like Bruce Lee as much as like another guy who feel like they got more going for him. But as far as like seeing him in a film such as Black Panther with such versatility, like he's not just a black king, he's a superhero, he's a man that like does multiple things. I feel like that's why people are showing so much love to that film. But for me personally, first time I ever seen him was in a show called Lincoln Heights. I don't even know if a lot of people like ever heard of it, but it was a real good show from like, I think maybe like 06 or 07. It was like a 4-year show. And he was a war vet. He was like the main character or like the main family's son or stepson. And he came home from war and was like struggling with PTSD and stuff like that. But even in that show, like that being the first film I ever seen him in so many years ago, his goal in the show was to help people. Like, he came home from war and wanted to be impactful even like at home. It was like seeing that and seeing, I guess, literally, like you said, every role that he played never seemed like it was just a settling role. It seemed like every role he picked with a purpose. Like, it was meaning behind each role. He did each role with his all. Like, from whatever I've seen, people always said even before his passing, like, when he was in a film, you knew you'd have to step the game up. You knew you'd have to come prepared because he's going to work. Like, he's going to lead it. And seeing him do that with everything that he was going through, like, for the last 4 years, and the fact that nobody knew it. And that's what I want to take a second to, like, touch on first is, like, it was 4 years of him going through this and nobody knew. Like, you might have been able to get a hint of it from recent pictures and videos, but nobody that knew him or knew of that information in his camp, you literally leaked a thing. Like, no one knew of this at all. 4 years is a great amount of time. I know people who can't keep a secret for a day, let alone 4 whole years. So I feel like that just shows a great deal of respect and just like how close and tight knit that team must have been for them to be able to hold that. Like, whether it's somebody as small as maybe a cameraman knew to, like, you know, to the tippity top of like his inner circle and family, but nobody let that go. And it's like today you don't see that type of loyalty, like, at all. Like,
respect, privacy. You don't see a lot of any of that anymore. And you know that okay. You know, to some they may not understand it, but you know, we're average Joes. You know, most people typically leak when they go to the grocery store. You know, get their feet done or whatever. This man has a true itinerary daily of movie sets, dressing rooms, hair, makeup, chemo treatments.
Exactly.
On top of photo shoot appearances, red carpet affairs, interviews, the whole nine, and chemo treatments to whatever degree or extent that it was. And no one let that go. You know, that is true. That's keeping your circle tight. You know what I'm saying? That's keeping your circle tight. And that's how most should be, you know, regardless to whatever it is, you know, and it's hard to say and weird to say, but to an extent, I'm glad his work was out before this came out, because some would try to misconstrue the greatness or the level of excellence that he portrayed. And, try and say it's more great now or whatever. But no, those movies came out with no one knowing. They all excelled. They all paid true homage to the person and family that he stepped in to be.
Yeah.
Hearing, Jackie Robinson's family to talk about or discuss how, that scene in the things truly represents their father and how he would have to contain and not keep things, keep his own stuff under wraps while he was going through so much. And to hear about how Jackie Robinson, who did he play? Not Jackie Robinson. James Brown, excuse me. James Brown's family, excuse me. All of the J's, it kind of threw me off real quick, but to hear James Brown's daughter talk about him going to their house every night and trying on costumes and, that kind of stuff, to see how much he really committed to the roles, not on top of chemo treatments and everything else. And no one knew like that. He was second to none. To me, his work already put him in a level of excellence, honestly, I believe, not only because of the roles that he portrayed, which was all black excellence, but the way he approached each role, the way he did that in such a short time frame, some people don't get to put out, back-to-back blockbuster hits, I guess you would call them, or whatever, but they were all, his body of work.
To speak to his greatness, you got your Denzels, your Samuels. That's a different category. But in terms of like today's day and age, like in terms of black actors, him, Michael B. Jordan, maybe even Kevin Hart.
I am not gonna hold you, and no shot, no shade to any of them, but definitely not Kevin Hart. He has his own.
Yeah, he's just. I'm saying he's a star.
That's a real thing. But to those type roles, you know what I'm saying? We don't have good portrayal of black African American men. Every movie he did was the excellent portrayal of the African American man that gave the community and the kids something to look onto. It's not just the. And we're nothing against, white athletes and white actors or whatever in their roles and their movies or whatever. But for our community to have someone on screen that portrays and looks like us or looks like our father or resembles that voice or that presence of our father, our grandfather, or that male figure in your life, to have to relate to that is second to none, I don't see, don't get me wrong, Michael B. Jordan's last film, Be Merciful or Mercy or whatever, forgetting the name off top, where he was the lawyer. Yeah. That was more of a, I think, pivotal stepping role for him in that regard of taking on, a real story. Killmonger, an action figure or whatever, that's fictional. Fruitvale Station was great. That's another one. I ain't even gonna hold you. He did play in The Wire, so I ain't even gonna hold you. Now that you're talking about it, I'm trying some of the names. They've been making choices. They've been making great choices in the role selection of who they get to portray, and it's.
Did Denzel Samuel out of this era or generation?
Yeah, I mean,
you can go back and forth all day long about Samuel versus Denzel, but at the end of the day, they both just great.
They're both great,
yeah. I mean, even though I feel like with them two, because their catalog is so big, you can't put them, you can't put one over the other, but I feel like if you're comparing these two, I guess you might can argue, but my point being, I guess, seeing somebody who plays a role like that in every movie when in today's age, you don't see it, and that's not really what people look for. Like, kids of our ethnic group don't care about seeing black kings, but it's like seeing somebody take on that role and make it relevant again, like make it a thing, make it popular, make people understand that like the whole thug mentality isn't like, it's not the only way to go. Like, you don't have to be this guy, and I'm showing it in every movie. Like, and then it's like, I think when people start to also like not realize what actors, athletes, like all of these people is, even outside of like what they do in film, it's about how they carry themselves. Like LeBron, like him being a great basketball player isn't just because he's amazing at basketball. When you look at him over the last like 20 years of him being in the spotlight, he sets himself apart by the way that he carries himself. Like, you don't see him in the media doing anything crazy. Like, if people wanted to throw dirt on his name, it's like, it'll be news to everybody because we've never heard him be in any type of trouble as a black man who leads the NBA. So it's like, it's the same thing when you hear people like Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, because not only do they embody what like a black man is supposed to be on film, but it's like all film, they set the example for how you can carry yourself, whether you are always in the spotlight or not. It's just being that type of man, like being that type of man inside and out. And I think that's what a lot of people, I guess, now are starting to see, because it's like, you'll see Chadwick in interviews or like certain shows talk about the struggle of kids that he like helped support. Like, a lot of people know that he did a lot of charity work for kids with cancer. So it's like him this whole time speaking about kids with terminal cancer and their everyday struggles. Not once did he throw himself in there, whether it's for like reasons of privacy or not. A lot of people do it for pity. Like, I'm doing all of this amazing stuff while struggling with this. Y'all need to give me more than what y'all giving me. Y'all need to champion me more than what y'all are already doing. He didn't do that. He didn't want that, and he never took the focus off the goal, which were the kids, which were the people that were struggling through this. And the whole time he could relate. Like, the whole time he's going through this battle, he's going through this fight, knowing very well what these kids and these other adults and people are struggling through. And you could never tell. Like, I remember I used to always tell people, like, after I seen him in Lincoln Heights, I seen him again in like 42 in the James Brown movie. And I remember this dude, but it's like almost 10 whole years later. So I'm like, yo, he looked exactly the same. Like, he didn't age a bit from that first show I seen him on compared to like almost 10 years later. These shows, like, you could never tell. Like, it's not just the way he looked physically, but it's also the way he carried himself. Like, somebody told me he was sick before, like, that one video that leaked with him, like, where his body looked like he lost a lot of weight. Other than that one video, nobody could have ever had told me that he was sick or anything. So it's like, it's more so just the way he carried himself even through this struggle.
I think he was preparing for like a movie.
And that's what a lot of people say, like, probably preparing for a role. Like, when Will Smith played Muhammad Ali, he gained a whole lot of weight. So it's like vice versa. That's what actors do. They lose weight, they gain weight, they tone up. So yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, it's also because he carried himself. Like, Rose or not, he didn't ever look struggling. He never looked like he was in pain because he didn't let people see the struggle or the pain. So it's like, to me, it's just like, that's truly what greatness is about. I feel like a lot of people in today's time start to forget about growth. Like, a lot of people want this, a lot of people want that, but they don't realize to get that, you have to work on yourself. Like, in the inside, you have to really work to be a better person in general. And there are people out here that do that, like, on a daily basis. And some people, they don't have to. They kind of already come out with the mindset. But regardless, to me, I just think it's dope. But with that being said, I know that they was talking about 2 films they were supposed to be in. I know one being Black Panther 2, the other one I don't remember what it was. But it had something to do with a black singer. I think he was like the trumpet man for her. But I forget the name of it. But both of those were movies that he was like strongly put in. So with those not being out now, or like they haven't even started film for it, do y'all think there will be a Black Panther 2? Or how do y'all think they will do that?
I don't know, man. Technology kind of crazy nowadays. You know, it's
you think they'll do like the Paul Walker thing?
It's
try to find somebody that looks like him and then like try to put his face.
It's definitely possible. You know, I don't know if it will still give the same. You know, Paul Walker's tragic death happened amid shooting, you know, the last movie. So there were some actual scenes, you know, that they used and needed, you know, across the movie that were already done where it was actually him. So that was a little bit different. But, you know, at the same time, they do got a brother that looked exactly like him. So it kind of like worked at times or whatever. But, you know, I don't know. Do I feel the need for
I feel like it would be easier for him though, because him being a superhero, they can try to make it a lot more based around the mask, like him being not seen.
It's definitely possible, but at the same time, you don't want to take too much away from it because, you know, those pivotal scenes where he took that mask off or revealed who he was or instantly changed into the costume, those kinds of scenes or whatever, not to say that they can't do it, because again, technology is amazing, but you know, you don't want to lose too much of it either. You know, some have tried certain things with that filmography and it kind of looked, you know, crappy or whatever, you know, for lack of better terms. But, you know, we'll see. I definitely feel that there's still going to be a need for it.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like that's
an
what
audience
anybody with that kind of mindset would want, though. Like,
eventually
you have to bring the Black Panther back out just because of the role he played in general. Like him being, especially in this day and time, the only main black hero that you're talking about. Like before that movie was released, the only black person I seen in Marvel was Falcon, and he was usually the butt of a lot of jokes. Exactly.
You know, that superhero.
So it's like, other than that, you don't hear many of them in movies in general. So giving us that one guy and him being such an impactful guy, and I think that's the crazy part. I think like, cause had it been played by a lot of other people, the impact wouldn't have been the same. Like the way that movie sold out, the way that movie like shot over the world and literally became like the biggest movie, winning so many awards. It has much credit to do to the actor himself, Dan Chadwick. Like he made it that, like, it was already going to be a pretty good movie because of the storyline, but he took it from a pretty good movie to an amazing movie. Yeah, like it's up there with some of the best movies, and with that, it gave him room to take spotlight in the Marvel films after that. Like the Avenger films, he became more relevant, more notable because of the movie that had previously came out. So,
are there any black female superheroes?
Like in movies or like in real, like in comics and all that, yeah, sure. But in like the movies right now,
other than Storm, no.
Yeah, that's not even like
other than Storm, no.
When do y'all think? How long do y'all think it'll be until it's like a prominent black female superhero or transgender or homosexual type superhero? Because it's gonna come. It's normally the black man and then the
transgender or homosexual. I feel like that can happen at any time because it's not really. Well, I guess the homosexual part, I feel like that can happen at any time because it's not really a character swap. Like out of nowhere, they can release that like any superhero was indeed like bisexual or homosexual.
It's definitely gonna be controversial.
Transgender hero.
How much kids watch that type of stuff?
Yeah, but I mean, in today's time, they talk about that stuff in Elmo, so it's like.
They do?
Is it really like?
I mean, they've always talked about subliminals in all kinds of TV shows, and The Simpsons and Elmo and Sesame Street and everywhere the hell else. Because the writers are, and the producers and directors are who they are, and their lifestyles are their lifestyles. So it was portrayed or said one way or another, but either way. Black, another one, I don't know. I don't know.
Black woman?
Yes. Black woman, I don't know. You know, I
feel like they would have to give it like.
I think the women think it's just starting, which is kind of crazy for me too. But you know, we just got Wonder Woman. You just got like 2-3 Captain Marvel. You know, they didn't really haven't.
The last black hero I really remember was Halle Berry playing Catwoman. Like other than like Storm and stuff like that from X-Men.
That's still her too.
And that's like, and that was only one movie, and that wasn't really. Like I think like the goal could have been kind of like the Black Panther thing, or like how they were doing it. Like you give them their own movie, then they start to show up and like film a little bit more.
Just to pay homage and say this, shout out to Robert Townsend. You know what I'm saying? That was my first black action hero. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Meteor Man. You know, he did the damn thing. You know, some say Blank Man. Possibly could have been a black action hero. If we shit like, you know, I don't know. I mean, Blank Man, you don't know Blank Man? That was the Daniel Williams.
He didn't know Brown Sugar, so come on.
Yeah, like,
I'm not assuming he knew Blank Man.
We ain't going there, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was different ones, but, you know, no one portrayed or exuded such excellence, you know, like him. And,
shout out to Blade.
Yeah. I mean, I will hold you. Blade was supposed to the black start to all of Marvel. Let's just be perfectly honest here. That was their first pivotal movie series that started it all. Before you had all of your Avengers.
He had to think of me seeing Blade, yo.
No, but I remember I did see it, but it was like the quality, it was on the.
Which one did you see?
So it's already like a dark movie, and the quality wasn't that good. So I saw it, but like I didn't really see it.
Which was it? The one with Ryan Reynolds?
No, it
Dracula,
was
or was it just him?
Wesley Snipes.
It was just Wesley Snipes. Alright, so you saw
Who
one of
was
the first
Ryan Reynolds? I don't know if he was in
Ryan
there.
Reynolds? Alright, I ain't going to it.
He said, no, it was the one with Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes did all of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one you talking about, man.
I almost spit my water out when he said that. I'm like,
That's like, I seen the Friday with Ice Cube in it.
Yeah, like, duh.
You probably know Ryan Reynolds if you've seen his face. But
that was the third one. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever that I was talking about.
hilarious.
But I didn't know which one you saw or whatever. But
It was probably
Ryan
like
Reynolds is another guy.
It was probably like
that
05,
seems to
06,
never
whichever one came out around there.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely do think that it needs to become more of a thing. Black Heroes coming out more. I remember I did like what they did with the Black Spider-Man film. That was different.
When did that come on?
Like a year or two ago, the cartoon film. It wasn't yeah. But it was just the fact that they put that out there to start, and a lot of people liked it. Got like really good feedback. So like stuff like that, it's like it takes small steps and small starts. But I feel like with great actors, it makes it easier. Like
yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure they had moments where they was hesitant about the Black Panther thing, but when it came out the way that it impacted the world, they were like, yeah, we glad we did this, and we chose the right guy, and it went the right way. So I feel like a lot of that will be determined by like the actors going forward once they get the opportunity. But it's like once they get the opportunity, it's just like, man, just kind of run with it. And yeah, I think last thing I'm gonna really say is the guy was impactful. I feel like he impacted everybody who's seen him in one way or another, whether it was a short film, whether it was, an interview. I've never heard anything bad about him. So
Our commencement speech, which was awesome.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that when it premiered 2 years ago. That was 2018. Yeah.
I think it was something I seen. It was a film, and it was like it would never have been a Chadwick without. I think they said, was it Denzel?
Yeah. That was a clip from the SAG Awards.
Yeah, because I remember he had brought up Denzel, but like Denzel had helped him through college, so it was like going back from like that, like such a good actor, giving a shot to another guy who became a great actor. That's just dope too.
It was that was the SAG Awards when Denzel Washington was receiving like his like Lifetime Achievement Award, and Chadwick was the announcer or whatever. But what's crazy is Felicia Rashad plugged that. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold you watching the 6ABC.
Who they? I'm playing.
Watching the 6ABC show last night or whatever, she spoke on it that more or less she was the mentor of the acting group, and they talked to her about them getting into the theater program at another school, but they didn't have the funds, and she called Denzel, and he basically covered a couple kids' tuition, like writing a check or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's dope, like, because you never know, and, to really show how great and focused that they were then, that people saw the true talent in him to give him that shot, is truly awesome and impactful, is to say the least. It will live on. I don't just want to say his films or his life or his legacy, because that I don't know. I'm specific about terms and words that's used or whatever for certain things.
Just say his name.
Like
his name alone.
It will live on. That smile, that work ethic, the grace, it all. It will live on. And truly just paying homage and respect to the family.
Yeah. Moving on to something else that is very important to all of us. Not only being black men, just being people in this country who've been seeing this going on for a long time. And it's become, I feel like personally to me, whether it's because it's just more notable, it's being out there more, it's being shared more, but it's become worse over the course of the last few months. And that's the situation that happened with Jacob Blake. As a lot of you may have either seen the film or at least heard from it, Jacob Blake got into a situation where a lot of people said, well, I don't know, was it confirmed that he was breaking up a fight? A lot of people, a man breaking up a fight, cops pulled up to the scene and then, basically accused him of being someone of a disturbance, and it resulted basically in him receiving 7 shots to the back, like as they followed him to the car. And to me, that's just ridiculous. Like, now the man is paralyzed, and that should have never been the way to go. Especially when we have kids out here walking around with assault rifles, shooting up groups of people, and
they get a pass.
They get water, and they get treated like an actual human being. While we are unarmed, we get treated like savages.
This man had his kids in the car, and he got shot 7 times.
Entering the car.
In the back.
Which is ridiculous, because situations like this, while like I'm remaining super calm, it's super infuriating, because this could be any of us at any moment. Like, that man had nothing going on whatsoever. Like, he was literally chilling with his kids. Like, it's a normal day. And that just shows you that any normal day
for us,
being a black person in this country, just like a lot of other countries, like, it's not just happening here, but while we're living here, I'm speaking on it here, we can be profiled and treated like this in any given moment, and that could be the last time anybody see us or hear from us. And it's not even a luckily that he didn't die, because it's not luckily at all. It's horrible that he's paralyzed. I'm glad that he didn't die from it, because at least his kids will still have a father in their lives, but at what expense now? It's like, this man can't walk again.
And at what quality of life now?
Yeah.
At the expense of the cop making a false, wrong judgment, a mistake, and it just gets written off as a common error. You put 7 shots in somebody back accidentally. Wasn't even the person involved in the altercation that you got the call for.
Yeah.
Again, from jump, what we said, the whole approach to these situations, once it's involved a POC, as they like to detail us, for those that don't know, person of color, the whole approach is the fuck wrong. They become the antagonizers. And in all honesty, any black man will tell you, once the cops come, we getting the fuck out of here.
Before they get there.
Trust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know shit. And that's exactly why I don't know shit. I ain't got nothing to do with shit. You know what I mean? Who was fighting? I don't know shit. I ain't got nothing to do with shit. I'm going back to my car. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I got my kids in the car. Mm-hmm. They follow him to his car, grab this man's shirt. When he opens his door, they put the burner to his fucking back.
Quick question, like, did it never, like, for all of this going on, like, you've seen the video, they followed him for a while. One, like, I had 1 or 2 right questions, or 2 options. Like, while it was wrong regardless, did it never occur to either one of the police officers to actually grab him and then actually figure out the situation instead of following him? And 2, what happened to at least using the taser? If you really felt death threat and it's 2 of y'all and he's walking away from you, why not just immobilize him in any way possible instead of trying to kill him? Like, I don't care what nobody say.
Even if don't tase him.
Right, but that's my point. That's my point. Like, my point being, like, why he was doing nothing at all. Those 2 things right there would have still been a lot less force if you were really that scared. If you really seen him as that much of a threat. Those 2 options right there is still a lot less lethal. 7 shots to the back, they wanted him to die. Like, there's no way around it. And maybe that answers my question in itself.
And that's just that.
But it's like 7 shots, that's not a warning. That's not trying to stop him from running. It's not like they, like, somebody shoot like at somebody's leg or something like that in a situation. No, they lit his back up.
They lit his back up.
When, like, sometimes I'll be on Instagram, like, reading the comments and shit, and there be people like, when they're going to stop resisting, or why don't y'all just listen and this thing. I'm a grown ass man. If I'm not doing nothing, like, what?
That's bullshit.
No fucking dog.
That's bullshit though, because it doesn't even matter, and it's been shown that regardless if we listen, if we fucking comply, we still gonna get the fuck shot. We still gonna get tased. We still gonna get fucking tackled. Yeah. We still gonna not get the possibility to go the fuck home. I've literally seen videos of men standing there with their arms up. Cops trying fucking karate kick him and, jump across the joint and that kind of shit. What do you...
And then you gonna react. Now,
and that's just it. Now I'm gonna respond.
But
then when I respond, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And I don't care. I've been trying to stay away from saying this shit. I truly don't give a fuck. Y'all gonna change when we start shooting first. That's gonna be the fucking response. We tired of the dumb shit. And a lot of people that's speaking out on it, they can't really say the shit because of their platform. I ain't really fucking got one. We gonna start shooting first. Shit gonna change then. Fuck it. I'll take my chances driving my fucking car home, getting my fucking family out of state, whatever the fuck the case is. Because even if I comply, the chances are either I'm gonna get shot or get some fucking Trump ass charges, and I'm still gonna be to fucking jail for some pointless dumbass reason. Once we start banging first, I don't wanna fucking hear nothing. It is what it is then. Cause truly, they're not fucking listening. Period.
And that's
peaceful protests, petitions. Yeah. They not fucking responding.
It's becoming more of a war zone.
You mean?
Because the way things have been going, and like I said, like I don't know, like to me personally, like this could be different for everybody, but since we first spoke on the Ahmaud Arbery situation, which was like back at around our first episode of the podcast, not even our first episode during the trial run. Like leading up to every incident, going from there to now, is getting more and more ridiculous to me. Like it's more and more bullshit, and it gives people reason to. Because like at the end of the day, when you look at everyone that's died in these situations, all of those deaths could have been avoided. And when you think about that, you really think about how life is so temporary. Do you really want to be next? So your mentality does become to shoot first. Your mentality does become to get them before they get you. And I don't fault anybody for having that mentality, because you can't trust the quote-unquote protectors of the world. Like, these people are supposed to be sworn to protect and serve, and they're not protecting a damn thing. Not even themselves, because these situations are not situations where they need to be protected at all. We need to be protected from them, and I feel like that's kind of the direction that we're going in. We're going to step up and become our own protectors, because for years, for decades, for centuries, we've yet to be protected in this country. So
excuse my body language and fidgeting and all of that, because like he said, this is a frustrating and infuriating situation. I'm a father, as I've stated over and over again, but I've been hit by a car. My personal life story. I was hit by a car, okay? Broke both my legs, fractured my left shoulder, 18 stitches across my forehead. For 13 months or so, I went through countless surgeries, rehabs, ups, downs, trials, tribulations, the whole nine. A very dark road. Some said I'll never make it out. I'll never walk again. I'll never be able to truly function. Quality of life will be altered. Kids, the whole nine. Taking my parenting and home life away from me was one of the most life-altering, heartbreaking situations I've ever dealt with. To know my situation being hit by a car, Jacob Blake being situation being shot by a cop, neither situation done under our own power. But our lives have changed. By the grace of God, my weight, the car, the speed, whatever you want to call it, he broke my legs. He did not paralyze me. After surgeries, however many it took, I walked. Thank you. Grateful.
Truly a blessing.
This man, Jacob Blake, is from here on out paralyzed with 3 small children. The GoFundMes, while they're nice, while it's going to be helpful, no amount of money can amount to that man's life and his now quality of life with his family, children, wife, whoever.
Yeah. And
a mistake. I'm sorry. And this motherfucker gets to go back out on the job the next day with the same fucking gun, more bullets, and do the shit all over again. A mistake. An accident. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how you want to word it, put it, or whatever. It shouldn't have fucking happened. It should not have happened. 7 bullets. 7. I don't need to bring up the constant videos and all of the other shit of how many times you done seen white kids do things or whatever, and the color, the difference, the type of separation, the different way that we're treated compared to others. Yeah. 7 times you shoot this man in the back. For breaking up a fight? For seeing somebody like us and saying, yo, fellas, y'all, come on, man. It's a better way out here. Y'all need to break that shit up. I walk back to my car and I get pulled and shot in the back. It's just, there is no fucking excuse. There is no explanation. There truly is nothing that I think can be done that's going to change this system. Burn it the fuck down. Yeah. That's my mentality. Burn it the fuck down. Because nothing's changing. And it's truly not going to change because of how big it is, how many people it employs, how much of an advance they've had to learn systems and wiggle rooms and backdoor alleys to figure shit out, and how this one can protect that one and this office here works on. Fuck it all. Burn the system down. It's too much. It's going on long enough. Like, this cannot happen anymore. Mm-hmm. Cops kill more fucking people than damn near people are killing people almost now. Like, I literally think we're at almost like 300 fucking deaths by police officers this year. It's August, folks.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm starting to become scared because it's becoming more of a thing. Like, every time, I don't think people realize the effect that this has, like, not just on people, but on police officers. The more police officers like this who have the mindset like him are starting to see more of their own kind get away with this. So they're more
prone to do it.
Exactly. And if you just have honest hate in your heart, like, fuck being fearful and all this other stuff, fuck being wrongfully trained, which most of them are. If you just hate us as people, you know, like, it's a high chance of me doing this, making up a story as to why I did it, and me being scot-free. Going back to some of my other fellow co-workers that feel the same way as me and getting a pat on the back. Getting treated like I'm some type of hero because I shot an innocent guy, but I made them seem like a thug or a threat. And that's scary, being somebody who can be seen as that every day. Yeah, and it's like, that's my point. Like, being a black man who can be profiled as that any day of the week, whether you're wearing a suit or you're wearing sweatpants, having family.
I'm sorry to laugh, but that's the shit that definitely fucked me up though, because it doesn't matter. Shirt and tie, jeans and tee, shorts and flip flops, wife beater. Wife beater, you can see straight the fuck through. You know I ain't got nothing on me. They still kill you. It does not matter. It does not matter
at all. It's just like I forget his name, but he is the owner of the Raptors, a black guy. Forget his name, but
Mizar.
Yeah, and like during the finals when they won, he went to go walk on to the court, and you see the way that
bitch ass white security guard ain't even a fucking real cop or whatever, shove this motherfucker away.
Light his ass up if he could in that moment. You can see it all in his disposition.
All in his
check. Yeah, and that's my thing. I'm like,
$12 an hour. Relax.
He cut your check, nigga.
Right? Who the fuck is you?
The fuck?
Like in Secret Service.
Then you about to lose your job.
He pulled his fucking pants out of his suit jacket. You know what I'm saying? He walking up to the joint, trying to get on the floor, pull out everything. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here. Bro, while so many other people are walking right past him who literally could have walked right past that moment.
And there was no way you checked it.
That goes back to my point of being, it really doesn't matter. This is a man who owns a basketball team. Like, this is a man who wears a suit, or general manager, my bad. But this is a man who wears a suit and tie almost every time you see him out in public.
They want to win that championship without that, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is exactly
put that damn team together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
point being, this is a well-known man, and even when you're someone who's noticed or notable or known, you can still get shot just because you're black. Like, there's no other reason behind it, and no one can convince me otherwise. I don't want to hear prior records. I don't want to hear any of that. because that really doesn't matter. Like, it's called a prior record for a reason. It happened, and people move on. People change. Like, every day we all do. It's called growing up. It's called living life and experiencing stuff. You change. Some of these things is like stuff that happened when these people were 16, 17. Some of these convictions are wrongfully convicted charges, but still y'all try to hang on and cling on to some of these things like that matters 10 to 15 years from now. And it's like, I hate stuff like that, because even like the Ahmaud Arbery situation, like when he got killed, the first thing that they tried to do was bring up a shoplifting incident. What the fuck does that have to do with me getting shot while jogging? Like, or getting killed while doing anything that has nothing to do with the incident. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. But the thing is, they'll continue to justify the murders. They'll continue to paint us as the bad guy. They'll continue to make us the predator when we're clearly the prey. Like, we're the hunted right now. And there's nothing you can say when you really look at everything that's going on that will convince any person otherwise who's in their right mind. People who mentality isn't already to dislike us or to fear us or to think that we're any more of a threat than anybody else. Like, I stand next to a white man my same age and size. I should not be considered like 3 times more of a threat or however many. Yeah, but that, and the thing is, he can be literally twice my size, like 300 pounds, 6'9", with a fucking machete in his hand. I can be standing just like this, and I promise you, there's still a higher chance that I'll get shot. And that's the sadness of this whole situation.
And that's the real reality of it.
Yeah, and that's, like you just said, it's the reality of it. Like, this is real life. Like, real life, any day, any moment, you walk outside, not even walking outside, Breonna Taylor, you can be at home.
You're correct.
Just living life any day on this earth, it's a chance that you can lose your life to some shit that has nothing to do with you whatsoever. Or a situation that didn't have to be what it was, but they escalated it themselves because that's what they wanted to do. And while all of this is going on, I definitely want to speak on the fact that athletes, like more notable right now, I guess NBA players, because their season is going on, have been speaking out about this. Like, I want to give a big shout out to LeBron and Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, just because, like, in the midst of all of this, like, while they're playing and stuff like that, every interview that he's had, he's taken the time to really shed more light on these situations, which is what a lot of people said the bubble should have been used for. Like, while some people are saying they shouldn't be there at all, I do see the value in them playing, and then while they're playing, them being able to speak out about situations like this. Because if they were home, would we really listen to them? But after watching Jamal Murray drop 50 points, and then the only thing he has to say is stuff about Breonna Taylor and all of these other people who've been wrongfully killed, that's dope to me. This is a 23-year-old guy, like same age as me, with so much more to do right now. Like, he playing for NBA championship chance, and his focus is still the focus of our people. Like, this is wrong, this should not be done. Like, I love that, seeing that from somebody his age, and even like LeBron, like, threatening to not play for the rest of the players. To give up a chance to win a championship, where this might be his best chance to win in some of his last years being an NBA player, it's like, I don't care. Because, like, they honestly probably got the championship on lock, and he's still willing to give it up because what he's seeing going on has to be done. Has to be a change. There has to be more done about it and spoken up about it, and I like it. Like, I just like to see him challenging the people that are above him to do more.
I completely respect it. And that was one of the biggest questions before they did it. You know, how would this play out and how would it work, and you know, what will you be able to, you know, what will they be able to say, and how far will they be able to?
Yeah, I know you touched on it, like episode 1 or 2.
You know, honestly, I do truly love and enjoy it. I respect the fact that they striked for the day. I definitely think that
it was like 3 days.
It was, yeah, you're right. It was like 3 days, and honestly, it touched more than just the NBA. That went across the WNBA, the MLB. It went to some soccer teams.
Fucking hockey.
Yeah, that's
it didn't hit international though, and I'll be honest, I'm not scaling it or saying that that's. But the more we impact their dollar, the more they'll fucking listen.
And to show that we can do it as a group.
Oh, hell
like
yeah.
you said, it crossed multiple
hell
sports.
Yeah.
It did not just stop with the NBA. And that just shows Like when people really do come together, change can come.
At the end of the day, most of the people in the NBA are black. But soccer, hockey, MLB,
baseball,
that's people outside of people that look like us starting to care.
But at the same time, they're starting to care, and at the same time, they are still witnessing and going through it too. You know, they got cousins and whatever the case is that connects them to this. Or at the same time, you know, it's one person out of that family of 40 that became that superstar. Everybody not living up there where the mansions and stuff is. Your family down the line are still affected in these neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So you
even
still
if you
care.
are, I feel like even being like somebody as big as LeBron, I'm pretty sure he cares every day that his kid might get killed up in Beverly Hills.
Even Beverly Hills, exactly.
Where cops
where
may
it doesn't matter.
Your black ass.
They gonna profile.
So,
They gonna profile. You know his son, and you know you driving this car, and you got that. You know, whatever.
You don't got this money. You must have stolen. Like anything, like you see in a lot of situations, and even when it comes to people who aren't black, like some of these athletes that aren't black, that are like white, Hispanic, other nationalities. At the end of the day, it is a race thing, but it's not just a race thing. Like while a lot of these like police brutality situations, like mass majority of them are white cops killing black people. It's not like it's just a race thing. It's both. It's a race thing and it's also just a police force at hand. But seeing people of different colors, seeing these athletes that are the same color of the predators that are doing these things, stand up for black people because they may have black people in their lives, or they might just see the value of us being human beings, like not seeing it for anything else.
It's genuine care for life.
Exactly.
We are human. We are human beings. We are people. You know, it is.
From dogs and
rabbits
and all
for
that
everything else. But you know, like
I don't even want to get started, man. They will
please don't, because we probably got a lot of animal people and all
nah,
that
but that's
stuff.
my thing. Like,
Vic was wrong, but how many years he did for
dog?
Leading, he didn't personally do it.
You saw the jump. Vic
conspiracy.
served more years than any cop has ever served for killing a black person.
I get it. I love dogs too, but listen. Anytime I see somebody treating a fucking poodle like his life matters more than me, fuck that dog. Like at the end of the day, we are real life humans. Like while dogs matter, and like you said, I'm pretty sure there are some animal lovers. It's not about the dogs. Just like the whole Black Lives Matter movement. It's not saying other lives don't matter. It's saying that ours should, because ours don't right now. And that's the crazy thing. Like right now, if a cop was to shoot a dog, I'm pretty sure he really would see more jail time than if he shot me.
And that's if a dog just minding his business, not like attacking you like a pit bull trying to bite your leg off, just chilling, minding his dog business.
Glad you said it.
You shoot him.
Paint that picture, because that's the same exact scenario. If this guy is outside and he sees a stray dog walk past, or a dog with an owner, and it's
shoots it.
Any other dog, not bother him or nothing, but he felt like the dog could have bit him, and he shoots the dog, I promise you, his ass is going to be all over TV.
He's getting fired,
and he's getting fired. But an actual human being, such as myself, with a family, a future, a life, like literally just a life, whether I had any of that or I didn't, it's just a life. You shoot me, it'll get posted on social media, and shout out to people, because at this moment, that is one thing that you can almost guarantee. While some stories aren't covered as much as others, the chances are people will see what happened to you, and they will share it and they will repost it, which is more than what people would do back in the day. But
my skin color
still not matter. Exactly, and that's literally what it boils down to. I should not be a threat because I'm black. Like it's just that simple. But at this time, and I mean, like it's been for forever, that is the case. Whether it's because they do fear us for our skin, whether it's because they fear us because they think that we are a threat, or they think that we are truly superior. I don't care what the reason is. The point is they're killing us for no reason. And that's been the story since we've been in this country. It's always been a senseless killing, and nothing has changed. Instead of them wearing white hoods, now they're wearing badges. And that's literally the best way that I can put it, because in this day and time when I see a 16-year-old light up a fucking group of people, and he gets a bottle of water and gets treated like a real citizen.
For protecting us.
Yeah, like that shit was ridiculous.
His mom, fuck that. His mom need to get murder charges too. Cause she drove his ass fucking cross state lines with the fucking gun, they both need murder charges.
That's murder one.
They both need murder charges.
They both get it. If Kyle
want
to
go
shoot up downtown and not drive his ass, no one with an AR-15,
both of y'all
I'm getting murder one. That's premeditated murder.
Both of them need to
get no bells, no none of that shit.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that he was mentally ill. I really don't want to hear that shit because whenever there's a white person who does these mass shootings, it's always a mental illness.
What's the words? Lost, misguided, a mental illness.
Yeah, emotionally disturbed.
Disturbed.
I don't care what nobody says.
I want to put that.
Nobody has been through enough pain, suffering, and hurt as a nationality than us. Because I can't say other groups of people who go through things like the LGBTQ community and stuff like that, they have their own struggles. But as a nationality, no one else has seen as much hurt as us. And I'm pretty sure some people could debate it from other nationalities in other countries, but strictly in America, no one has seen it.
No one.
So I don't want to hear he's emotionally disturbed. Bro, I came out the womb with disturbances. Like, the environment that I grew up in was nowhere near his environment. He shot up a fucking school. He shot up a group of people. He shot up a church.
Shot up a
club. I didn't shoot up a damn thing.
Shot up a club.
Yeah, like, that's exactly like, that's...
a movie theater. The list just goes on and on, dog. Like,
to that statement that Kaji made about the nationalities, I would probably disagree. Mm-hmm. I would say Hispanics is right next to us legally.
You're absolutely right.
That's a fact. Some of the shit that they see in Kensington, like, that shit not normal. Like, it's really not normal.
Yeah, Kensington is, that shit is not normal.
I mean, it's black people too, but I would say Hispanics and black, I would say
I'm glad you said that because
they don't have a history of slavery and civil rights and all that, but right now.
But they also get profile with us. Yeah, they also get profile with us, so I definitely do agree.
That would be the separation, though, when you talk about the amount of oppression.
Yeah. That they've been through, yeah.
Like, I didn't personally face that.
Slavery was set aside. Technically, you might not have, but at the same time, if slavery and everything that trickled from it might not have been here, our lives could have been differently. And that's just it. That's the.
But the fact that they still didn't even have to go through that, they still face the same way as us. Like this.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's not one that's worse or one that's bad. I would say bad. But they're in the same boat.
No different than what we were talking about on the last episode and shit. You know, it's the same kind of fighting. It's equal progression, and we can still march towards it because we both sort of deal with the same kind of shit. Yeah. They kill black and brown motherfuckers. Like, that's just what it is. Like, what goes on in our neighborhoods are very similar. You know, it gotta stop if that's gonna be anything, you know, like if that's really gonna say anything or change anything, no, but the shit gotta change. It has to change. Something has to give. Like,
I feel like people, more specifically white people and higher power, until they speak up, there won't be a big enough shift for change. Like, us as a black community, I feel like we can definitely make change. But to make serious change in a short amount of time, the people who are up there, like the Robert Krafts and like other people who are just widely known and wealthy, who can impact more than us on a financial level. Because I feel like for a lot of these people, until you hit their pockets, they won't care.
It's only 12%. The United States is only 12% black. And to be completely honest, we're not united.
Yeah, we're not
right. Yeah. So if there's only 7% of it, it's like it's not going to get the job done.
I hear what you're saying, but this is more than just economics. This is more than just finances. This is more than
fucking human
our
being.
Neighborhoods, right, dog? Y'all they don't even look at us as equal first. That's just it. Equal rights and civil rights, guys. How long has that shit happened? And nothing's fucking changed. We're still looked at as less than. Like,
1776.
That's the shit that kills me, you know. And don't get me wrong, you know, money in the neighborhoods and the nourishment that we need to rebuild and restructure our neighborhoods will help. But at the same time, all that shit to me right now, then they bring more fucking cops in the neighborhood.
Right. And well, that's why I didn't mean like reconstructing them. I'm talking about them taking a stand for it to be more of a change. Like, we won't participate in this or this until there's a change. May change in the training of cops and getting some of these toxic cops out of the system. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like with most communities and areas, you can thrive without a cop or the amount of cops that are in the area. But at the end of the day, I don't see cops going anywhere. So my next biggest thing, other than just like, them not killing us, is you have to give them better training. You have to get more in depth with it, and you have to weed out the people who are still the mentality to kill us because of our skin. Because at the end of the day, that's literally it. Like,
I'm starting to
nothing else.
I'm starting to want to be a cop. Like, just because I don't give a fuck about the pension, I don't give a fuck about how much they pay me. I just want to go in there and be an asshole to the whole fucking system. Fuck everybody, fuck everything. One person say something wrong, I'm right at you. All that. I don't fire me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'm not there. I don't care about being there.
They gonna have.
I don't care about being there for 20 years and getting the pension.
You ever seen Black and Blue?
They kill you.
The joint that just
That's
came
what they
out.
gonna have to do. I'm not gonna be around.
Kill your
They'll kill you,
ass.
bro. That's just it. They'll kill you. And they'll kill you and make you look like a fucking dirty cop.
Yeah, he was a drug dealer the entire time.
It ain't real shit.
Taking money from everybody.
And that's just it. What's crazy is if your life ain't basically portrayed and painted already out here for social media of the world.
They're right there on story.
They're right there on story.
If I had to die for speaking my mind or standing up for what's right, I don't want
it.
Well, right now I don't have kids or nothing like that.
I mean,
so that shit might change, but right now,
even with my kids, I love them to death. But I can't truly see me, quieting myself for not being me.
They probably wouldn't want you.
Yeah, like
knowing who their father is.
That's just it. Like
I was at Chipotle like 3 weeks ago. The line was crazy. Like it was like they wasn't letting people in. So it was all these DoorDash, fucking Grubhub, all them joints. It's just all these fucking people, and it's like some I don't want to fuck up their nationality, but like Pakistan or something like that. Middle Eastern. That's what you call it. They like, we've been here for an hour and a half. Where's the food at? It's that and third. They trying to get the food for the customer or whatever. So the lady coming out, one by one, like screaming the names, like Tommy, whatever, and giving them their bag. So the boy putting his phone in her face, like as she walk out, like look at the name that's on my phone, go back there, make that shit, and cook it. So she like, please guys, like I'm going as fast as I can. We're backed up. It's only 3 of us. So all these orders, like please don't put your phone in my face. We're making the orders as they come up on the screen. She come out again. Like it's 3 of them. Like it's a group of them. I guess they know each other or whatever. They just keep doing that shit. Like the 3rd time she snapped him. Like don't put your phone in my face. And the 3rd, he did it again. So I spoke up. Like yo, what the fuck is you doing? Like at the end of the day, that's a female. Like you drunk.
Like crazy.
I'm not the only black man out there.
Right.
Nobody else is saying nothing. Nobody else is doing nothing. They just letting that shit happen. Like I don't understand it.
See though, in this day and age, you see that a lot. Like you can see a group of people. It's like when you see a fight or something like that. It's a group of people there, but it'll only be one person to step up to break up the fight. And
stop that shit. Yeah.
Those are the people that I give thanks to because honestly, it takes a lot to be different. I think a lot of people don't really realize, like, in a world where most of us are followers, like, at the end of the day, that's the best way to put it. A lot of y'all follow people that y'all see, people that y'all want to be like, people that are better than y'all when there's not enough originality in this world. Not enough people that are
really better than y'all.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and that's the thing that I really hate. Like social media is what you make it. I see people post pictures of Teslas who still sleep on their mom's floor. So you really can't let social media fool you, but people do, and that's kind of the rabbit hole and circle that people are starting to like revolve around now. Like they see people faking it, but they think it's real life. So they fake it to make it seem like their real life is what they think the other person's real life is, to the point where nobody's really getting anything done. It takes so much time and energy to fake who you are and what you're doing that you could have spent that time actually doing something, actually bettering yourself in any amount of ways. Like, it doesn't have to be financially. It could be literally just doing something productive for yourself or thinking of a way to make a change for yourself. So people who do, like he did, speak up in moments where most people wouldn't. Like, if I'm outside and I see a man smack a female, I don't know what she did, but I'm not about to sit there and let I'm not gonna sit there. Yeah, like, bro, you're not gonna smack her while I'm here.
You can be my friend. I'm not gonna.
If you're my friend, it's worse.
Like, I'm not gonna allow you to put your hands on a girl in front of me. Like,
yeah, but it's not happening. But if it's a stranger, I'm gonna snap when you try to put you in your place. But if you're my friend, I'm whipping your ass because you deserve the ass whipping that somebody didn't give you. Because that's not what you should be doing. Like, bro, I don't care what she did. You shouldn't do that. Like,
damn. I got a friend, he smacked the girl. She spit on him though. I don't know how I react if somebody spit on me. So I'm not gonna go out. I'll smack this person. But if you spit on me, I don't know how I'm gonna react. So it might be an instinct.
There are circumstances. There are circumstances because
certain circumstances, like if there's an altercation where like she starts it and stuff like that, while I would break it up, if he hit her in an altercation where like she might have hit him first, something like that, I can't tell somebody how to react with stuff like that. But I'm just talking about like, you know, the basic situations where
regardless of putting your hands on, you shouldn't be disrespecting females. Like that could have Chipotle thing. Like at the end of the day, like that's a female. Like, as a man, what are you doing? What do you get
off of that shit? Like
that's another thing.
You
like
cocky now, you bad now and shit. Like
today's
like,
time,
go deliver some food. Like what you doing? You fucking weirdo.
But a lot of
is she like 16, 17? That could be my little sister. Like. Yeah. That's weird. And nobody said nothing. It's like 30, 40 people out here. It's multiple black men older than me. Not saying, not doing shit.
Alright, so I ain't getting into a joint with a female, but, you know, in the day and age of where we have in so many lines and you can't just go in the stores, we was trying to go to Wine and Spirits one family night. And I was in line at first with my sister. Her husband was out getting food. So when he came back, me and him switched. I went and got in the car to eat my food or whatever. But a blind family was walking by, and the mother and father are both blind. They both have their blind seeing eye dogs. The mom has the daughter in a harness. But the line at Wine and Spirits on the corner, right on Baltimore Pike in Lansdowne, whatever, you know, it's like a little L shape, but the line was wrapped around the corner. The dogs trying to guide them around the corner, you know, basically like cut a little bit into the line. These 3, 4 black middle-aged women start snapping like, get your fucking dog out of here. You can't see where the fuck you going and what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm sitting in the joint, like in my van, like looking in my rearview mirror, watching the shit. And nobody said nothing in line. It's older men, young men, older women. Everybody can fucking see that these people are blind and they had a true incapacity or whatever. And me and my brother got the fuck out. Y'all got a problem? Y'all need some help? Where y'all going? I'll guide you to where you need to go. The mother was so startled, scared, and turned off by the situation.
Imagine
she started crying. She started crying and literally just said, "No, I'm going back home, honey," and handed him the card, took the door, and walked the fuck off. And I told the husband, if you want to go around the corner to the store, I'll take you around the corner to the store. Right. You don't need to worry about nobody out here. And I'm saying this shit in front of people, you know, and you know, you don't do that kind of shit for recognition. You do that kind of shit because it's right. I've never brought the story up before or whatever, but, you know, my brothers and my sisters that was there, they all know the joint, but the fuck is wrong with you?
But that's the thing.
The fuck is wrong with y'all? Like,
we need to hear more stories like this. Like, wow, you bring it up for the right reason to show people that it's okay to stand out because, like, to put it simple, like whether it's man, woman, people in general, a lot of y'all pussies. Like, you don't have what it takes to stand up. You don't have what it takes to stand up and tell somebody, yo, don't do this. This is wrong. Because everybody else is doing it. You don't want to speak on it. And in today's time, that's really what's going on. Like, a lot of people are so afraid to be opinionated because they're afraid of what people will think or what people will say. And it's making a weaker nation.
To piggyback off what he's saying and bring the thing back into context, that shit means whether in uniform or the fuck not.
Yeah, it's a big fact.
Because the same thing, me and Dave, we ain't no cops, we ain't no community activists or none of that. But we people out here in the street. When we see right, we do right. When we see wrong, we gonna call that shit the fuck out.
Exactly.
Why the fuck can't the cops do that? Why can't the cops call out their own?
Shout out to the one cop who did and lost his job.
Real shit, but he lost his job. Because he speaks out on what's right. Because he's not just going to conform. He's not just going to go along with the masses. He's not just going to go along with the fucking popular vote because that's what the majority does. Fuck that. Right is right and wrong is wrong. We need to truly get back to honoring human beings. We are human beings. Blood running through these veins. All of us bleed. Everybody gets hurt. Everybody got a family. Everybody got a lineage. Everybody got a story. Everybody got somebody waiting to fuck for them. Good, bad, and different. Everybody got somebody looking to fuck out for them. Stop being out here being scared and approaching these situations as just another fucking report that you're going to write down and go to fuck home. Right. These is lives that we talking about. That's a person. That's a human being. That's someone's future that you just chop the fuck down or completely alter. Because of what? And ain't nobody gonna call you out on that shit. I don't give a fuck, cop or no cop. If my partner shot somebody wrong, what the fuck is you doing? I'm gonna put my shit to him. I don't give a fuck. What the fuck are you doing? Because either way, we gonna have to answer for this shit. What the fuck are you doing? You put your gun down. You put your fucking gun down. I need backup. No, dickhead in here, shot fucking whatever. 235 did something stupid. Like,
that's a fact though. Like,
call that shit the fuck out. Like,
it's a shield. What do they call it? The blue shield or
code or whatever.
Blue code or whatever. It's like they're going to stick up for each other because it's like they're like it don't matter what Ka do. Like he can go smack the shit out of somebody's grandma. If somebody come to Ka with an issue, I'm gonna be next to Ka and we gonna handle that issue. Situation. Then behind closed doors, I'm like, Ka, you was wrong. Why you smacking your grandma? But in that moment, we gonna fuck all up because why you come?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold.
But we don't have badges.
Right. And that's the difference. Because street code cannot translate into police code. Bro, you can't alter that band of brothers, but that's just it. That band of brothers, fuck all of that. Right. Y'all are civil servants. You are civil fucking servants. That means that I don't need to know your fucking name or address, but clearly you're in this neighborhood. I'm supposed to treat you with some fucking respect. Yes, I'm here to protect this neighborhood, but that doesn't mean that I need to discredit you or disrespect you to keep the neighborhood the fuck safe or whatever. Like, I'm supposed to treat you with respect. That's the shit that I just don't get. Like, that's the stuff that I don't understand. And yes, this is a dangerous world. There are real criminals and thugs out here. Yeah. There are real people out here that put cops' lives in harm's way every day. But I'm sorry, that's your fucking job, and you can't approach everybody the same. That's something that y'all need to fucking learn. Period. Like,
I would love to get a rank with any of the cops that recently did anything that they did.
I'm scared to know what
I want to get
like. I love our military. I appreciate what they do, but I'm scared to know what they overseas doing to the people that's not citizens. Like I'm scared to know what they over there doing to people in other countries and women and shit like that.
I've heard things like,
and they got a lot more power.
That's a whole different.
It's way less likely to get out
in a different country. It's way less likely to get out or whatever. But at the same time,
a lot of people wonder why we're hated in some of these countries, but we don't see like they don't show us what they really do. But it's like some people come back, and they also wonder why people come back so mentally fucked up. You see a lot like. They don't just go over there and go do this and that for America. No, they go over there like savages, killing, raping, destroying, degrading, hanging people. Like some of them people like really go into the army because they mentally fucked up, and they show that shit over there in other countries. Like they really act the fuck out, and they come and they get a medal for it.
And I don't want nobody to misconstrue what we said. It's not all people.
Yeah, it's not all people.
Not the majority. It's probably a small few, but.
Like thing is, if it's being done here and they're getting away with
it takes a few bad apples to
this being done in the light, imagine what's being done in the light.
Exactly. That's the best way to put it.
Real facts.
At the end of the day, Black Lives Matter, and it's Ka,
Kev,
this day.
All right, ScreamATMePodcast.
I'm from a block where these niggas get locked and go back. Where the money that you see ain't legal, it's all traps. All black mask, coat zip it up, he gon' blast. Anybody plotting on me, that's a death force. All niggas hop out the V, get your head sprayed, right out right on his T. He get